Hey, what's going on? Happy Friday. Joe 690 ADB. Thanks for stopping in. And yeah, you know what? I mean, we haven't heard a whole lot of news lately out of any of the manufacturers, but I know that there's some coming. And I know that these motorcycles that I'm going to talk about tonight are definitely what everybody's going to want, hopefully, for 2022. Stick around. Hey, what is up? What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Joe 690 ADB. Thank you so much for stopping in, and thank you for being part of the channel. And if you're not part of our channel, please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, hit that little subscribe button. It only takes just a second to do that if you're new to our stuff. And don't forget, give us a quick thumbs up, and also try to remember our affiliate stores too. You can get it up top, you can type it direct, or it's down there in the description. Really helps the channel out. It helps, basically, it kind of puts you as a sponsor for the 690 ADV, and it helps us with all this stuff that we do around here. Tonight, we're going to talk about bikes because we haven't heard a whole lot of stuff coming out of the manufacturers in quite some time, actually, to be quite honest with you. And the hot topics these days are basically the Kawasaki and the Honda, those new 300s, and they're really fantastic. And we've done quite a few videos on those. And they really are going to set a mark for the dual sport world. So, but my thing is tonight we're going to talk about some bikes that I know that I just got a really good feeling. And you tell me what your feelings are down below in the comments. I sure would appreciate it. And let me know if I missed something. Maybe I missed a bike that you think maybe is going to be out there. So make sure you watch the video and find out all the bikes. There's going to be 3 of those bikes that I'm talking about tonight. If maybe I missed one, or maybe I missed a spec that you think maybe would be fantastic for the manufacturers to bring to us, because I really think we need some more bikes in the industry. And but like I said, you tell me what you think you hope is going to come in the next round of bikes that are coming out. Now, you know, we have the 300s from the Kawasaki and in the Honda, and they're making waves. But I tell you what, the first bike that I think is really, I think we're going to get, and I'm very, very hopeful for it, and you tell me what you think, is Yamaha. We haven't heard anything out of Yamaha in a while. It's all the T700 and all that. And I really think that Yamaha truly needs to bring us a new bike. And the bike that I'm thinking is probably the WR300, because we know that they're basically discontinuing that 250R. That is fantastic. It's got long intervals and it's totally 100% proven in a fantastic motorcycle. But how about a WR300? Or a 350. I think either or would be totally fantastic to replace that WR250R. And what we'd really like to see in that bike? Well, the first thing is it's got to be fuel injected. That's my personal opinion. What do you think? Put it down below. Anytime, put it down there what you think on that bike. But I really think that we need a fuel injected 6-speed transmission on that motorcycle with about 30 to 40 horsepower. How awesome would that be? That would totally basically set the bar for a lot of those 300 motorcycles. And you know, Yamaha, they can definitely squeeze that horsepower out of that bike. And I think at 34, 35, maybe 40 horsepower would be perfect. Definitely got to have the clearance on that bike. About 11 inches, I think, would be perfect. No less than 10, 21/18 tire that they already have on the 250. An adjustable suspension would be fantastic. 35-inch seat height. I don't think any of these bikes I'm going to talk about tonight are going to be really, we're going to get that low seat height, but we know that we can drop those bikes down if we need to. I'm thinking 3 gallons of fuel, not too much fuel, because we don't want to put too much weight on that motorcycle. Like I said, about 3 gallons of fuel is going to be perfect. All LED indicators on that bike, because everything should be LED right now. Switchable on-the-fly ABS. Definitely, I think, is fantastic. That should be just a must for all dual sport bikes these days. Very long maintenance intervals, which we already know Yamaha is totally notorious for. And not only that, I'm thinking around about that 310 pound mark, because you're about 292 pounds for that WR250R. And what if they could get a 300 or a 350? Around 310, maybe 315 pounds with that amount of horsepower? God, how awesome would that be? I would be totally on board for that bike. What about you? MSRP, I think that they would be in the sweet spot between about $600 and $6,500, and they would sell a boatload of those motorcycles. Add to it, don't add to it, you let me know. Number two, something we haven't seen in quite some time, and I really think that it's time for this manufacturer to really step up its game and bring us some more bikes, man, because they make fantastic stuff. Suzuki has basically the 200, the DR, and it's definitely a DR series of the 400, and we also have the 650. But how awesome would it be if they could add a DR 300 to that lineup? Maybe get rid of the 200 because it really is a little underpowered for what it is. But I think that that would totally complement that 400 and that 650. Man, how awesome would that be? Move it over, get out of the carburetor, jump it into a fuel-injected motorcycle with a 6-speed. I don't think they'd be able to squeeze much more than 30 horsepower out of that motor. Maybe 30, 32 horsepower. That would really be pretty good on that bike. About 10 inches of clearance, I think, would be fantastic on that. 34-inch seat height, because you know what? Suzuki's really pretty good at actually getting the seat height about right for most riders. About 2.5 gallons to maybe no more than 3 gallons, pretty much on all these bikes. We don't want too much fuel because we don't want to add a ton of weight to it. Gotta have the adjustable suspension. Come on, it's 2021, 2022. What do you think? Gotta have that adjustable suspension because it really makes it nice when we're trying to do that off-road work, and it basically, we can either stiffen it up or loosen it up, and it really makes it super, super nice. All LED indicators, gotta have that. And I think the biggest kicker is for a bike like that, it really needs to be under 300 pounds. Bump the tires up to a 2118, that would be great. Get that switchable ABS on a DR300 with all that stuff. How amazing would that be? Long maintenance intervals, Suzuki's known for that as well. And if they could hit an MSRP, my personal opinion, I don't know what your opinion is, but about $5,000, I think they would sell a ton of those bikes. What do you think down below? Now, we're talking about dual sports, but what about the adventure bikes? And there's a bike that everybody's excited about. I'm no different. I think that I just cannot wait, and it's coming, and we know it's coming. And what bike are we talking about? The KTM 490 Adventure. But we don't know what's going to be on that motorcycle. My personal opinion, here's what I would love to see on that bike. And if it is on that bike, I'm going down to KTM North Texas. I'm talking to Todd and Bert, and I'm putting one on order. And what would I like to see? Yeah, here we go. For starters, 10 inches of clearance, because this is an adventure bike. This is a small mid-range adventure bike, and it's got to have at least 10 inches of clearance. 6-speed transmission. It has to have a 6-speed, period. And basically it's got to be a twin-cylinder motorcycle, and it needs to be KTM power, straight across, ready to race, 60 horsepower out of that 490. It's got to have that. It needs no less than 55 horsepower, my personal opinion. Now, fuel. I think because it's an adventure type motorcycle, this is not a true dual sport. This is a road traveler as well, and in a mid to small range with a lot packed into that package. I think it needs to have about 4.5 gallons of fuel. I think that would be perfect for that motorcycle, and not just 4.5 gallons of fuel. Low strung tank, just like its big brother, the 890 and the 790. It needs to have that weight down below to get that bike nice and stable when you're traveling. Got to have 21-inch front tire. It has to have an 18-inch rear tire, and it's got to be on a spoke wheel. It just has to be. This is KTM, and you agree with me or don't disagree with me, you put it down below, but I'll tell you right now, the KTM is really the king of the dual sports that are off-road ready. Now, I personally think, I'm thinking a 34-inch seat height to a 35-inch seat height. Yeah, what do I mean? I mean an adjustable seat. How cool would that be with a 34-inch to a 35-inch seat height that you could adjust just by going in the back and making a couple of clicks? I think that would be fantastic for that motorcycle. An adjustable windscreen. I think that's a must for any adventure bike these days, and I'm sure you would agree with me on that because it really makes it nice. Get it low when you're in the dirt, get it high when you're on the highway, makes everybody super happy. KTM's notorious for putting on Brembo brakes, and this has got to have it. It just absolutely has to have it. It's got to have switchable ABS on there, and it really needs basically cornering ABS, and it needs to be on the fly. We need to be able to switch that stuff straight up when we're traveling. We shouldn't have to pull over, wait, put it in neutral, and push a button and hold it down. Now, option, I think these are a couple of options that definitely need to be offered on this bike. Cruise control, heated grips. If you've never owned heated grips or had cruise control on your motorcycle, it's absolutely fantastic when you're riding off-road. It makes for a perfect ride on your bike. And when it's cold, those heated grips, they do make a difference 100%. 5-inch TFT is display so that you can connect basically with Bluetooth to your helmet so you can listen to your tunes while you're riding and you're off-road and when you're punching down those miles. Here's the biggest thing for me, and I really would like your input on this. 398 pounds. And the reason I put that number out there is it needs to be under 400 pounds. And this is an adventure bike, not a dual sport. But at 398, that would be the record, and it would definitely set a standard for all mid-range adventure bikes that are out there. I think that there would be nothing even remotely close to that motorcycle. And the MSRP, if they could get it around $8,999, it's game over. That bike right there will outsell all bikes that are out there. It will squash the T7. It will take the Africa Twins. It'll take all of them. People, you won't be able to keep them in stock at that price. Question is, can KTM do it? I don't know. We'll find out and see, but that 490 is coming, and that's my wish list. What's yours? Now, here's the deal. All these bikes are really what we need, and these manufacturers really need to step up. Kawasaki did it, and so did Honda. Now we need to see these guys actually step up and give us what we're asking for. Anyway, you put it down below. Tell me what you think. What did I miss? What needs to be added to the list, or did I get it right? I don't know. Let me know. I appreciate you. Get out, enjoy yourself. Don't forget, please, if you're new, hit that subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit our affiliate links. It really helps the channel out. And yeah, like I said, man, go find your adventure. I don't care if it's down to the Starbucks, man. Whatever puts a smile on your face on your motorcycle, you win. I'm Joe, 690 out.